Okay, night one of WrestleMania 39 is in the books. Some ups, some downs. Overall, very enjoyable show, some great matches, but I have some philosophical problems with it, unfortunately. Starting things off, we did have the United States Championship match between Austin Theory and John Cena, and unfortunately there's just not really much to say here. There was a nice little bit at the opening where some Make-A-Wish kids actually got to escort Cena to the ring, but that was kind of it early on. I mean, just, a lot of rest holds coming in made Cena just look really out of shape. I mean, there were a couple of nice bits where Theory bit Cena right off the bat to gain an open advantage. He bit Cena's ear. He then hit a rolling blockbuster. He then hit a rolling dropkick out of that. Cena came back, countered a dropkick into an STF. Which resulted in him getting bit again. Theory countered an attitude adjustment to a DDT. Cena started to rally back again. A lot of rest holds again. He fought out of a sleeper. Started to hit the 5 moves of doom, but when he went for the AA, Theory grabbed the ropes just long enough to kind of recoil off of them and inadvertently bumped the ref. Theory then tapped out to an STF, but the ref didn't see it, which enabled Theory to get a low blow and hit the 8-count down for the 3 count of the victory. Like I said, I thought, we would get something like a Cena DQ win, but I said Theory had to keep the championship. Because, again, if you're high on him and you want to push him, to have him lose it to a part-timer and then put the, again, what is the highest belt on Raw, at least as of this recording, on a part-time champion who might not be there for a few weeks, didn't really make any sense. So again, having Theory, win that way, I think works a whole lot better. At least, he cheats. He's a heel. He's supposed to cheat. It was a very bog standard match. Not necessarily bad, just kind of ho hum. And then, like I said, the only problem is again, Cena just looked out of shape. I know he'd had a match, a few months ago, but again, it's like this was not a high-quality match to start things off, let's just say that. After that, we had the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match, the men's Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match. The Viking Raiders versus Braun Strowman and Ricochet, Alpha Academy, and the Street Profits. Titus O'Neil joined the commentary team for some reason. And this was another match where, again, there were only one member, there was only 2 men in the ring at one time, and I don't really like that in the multiple tag team matches. Like, put all the members of the ring in at the same time. Like, if you're going to do something, if you're going to do where it's just 2 men in the ring at the time, do it as a gauntlet or something. Other than that, Gable taunted Strowman, but unfortunately didn't realize that Ricochet was able to kind of leap around him to tag Strowman in. The Raiders powerbomb Montez Ford, a double powerbomb on Montez Ford. Gabe hit a big German suplex onto Strowman. Strowman came in, he had a big frog splash onto Ivar. He went for another kind of high rope maneuver. Ricochet eventually got in. He hit, what did I tell you? What did I write here? He pushed forward into the arms of Tower of Doom, basically. Ricochet went for a shooting star press, but Dawkins got his knees up, and that enabled Ford to hit a frog splash that Dawkins used kind of a gutbuster type maneuver to get a 3 count in the victory for the Street Profits. Overall, pretty good match, really fun, a lot of high spots, but yeah, it was kind of fillery, obviously, but they did a pretty decent job with it. I just don't understand the Street Profits right now. Again, when I keep hearing that they want to break them up, well then why are you giving them this push as a tag team? And then it turned out this wasn't even for a contendership. This was basically just we needed to get these guys on the card match. So, yeah, just kind of left a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth. After that, we had Logan Paul taking on Seth Rollins. Paul was doing the Shawn Michaels WrestleMania 12 entrance where he's coming down on a zip line. He had someone dressed up as a bottle of that energy drink he's showing, a Prime energy drink, I think. We would find out who that was eventually. I was hoping it was going to be Rollins in disguise. I thought that would have been funny. But no, instead, Rollins just gets a choir a conductor to conduct the crowd into doing the the chant down to the ring. Again, this match had kind of a slow start early on, but it started to pick up. Paul hit a big Maverick Lariat. He hit several body shots. He used his surgically repaired hand with the screws in it to get some cheap shots on Seth. Rollins avoided a moonsault that allowed him to get back into it. Rollins stomped Paul's surgically repaired hand on the ring steps. It's at this point the bottle of energy drink got involved, and it turned out this was Paul's business partner, KSI, who has helped, got also a cheap shot at Rollins and enabled Paul to get a big shot on him. They put him onto the announce table. They set up for the big frog splash from the ring post. However, Rollins managed to get the reversal, so Paul wound up splashing KSI. Paul hit a GTS and followed that up with a frog splash, and Rollins countered. Paul went for the coast to coast. Rollins managed to counter that with a super kick and then hit the stomp for the 3 count and the victory. Sorry, the phone went off. Rollins won the match. It was a match that started slow. I think really picked up a lot. Definitely a lot of high action. Good job of getting the outside interference dealt with. And I was kind of afraid, after the match, I thought, oh, Paul's going to win this after KSI got involved. But no, they managed to come back a little bit. They still managed to have some bits after that. They didn't immediately just rush right to the finish. So, again, it allowed the story to be told properly. And, yeah, this was a really fun match. Alright, our next match is the 6-woman tag match. Damage Control taking on Lita, Becky Lynch, and Trish Stratus. What did I write here? Right off the bat, we had a brawl between all 6 women throughout the ring. Eventually spilled outside. Sky had a missile dropkick on the Lynch. Bailey interrupted a tag that allowed them to isolate Lynch. This was a really good tag match. Really good use of the tags involved. Someone would tag in. Damage Control could immediately kind of separate them away and isolate them and beat on them from a little bit there. Lita got the tag in, hit some clotheslines, hit an apron, what did I write? Snapmare Driver, that's what it was. A Snapmare Driver onto Io Sky. Stratus came in and she had a big Thez press. They then tried to do a head scissors off the top rope with Dakota Kai. But it took a little while to set up, so it didn't quite work as well as it thought it would. Bailey got the advantage again, hit the Rose Planter on Becky Lynch, but Lita broke up the pin, which enabled, eventually after another big schmoz, Lynch hitting the manhandle sign off the second rope on Bailey for the 3 count of the victory. Again, you keep hearing Damage Control is this threat, Damage Control is this dominant team. Well, they're not when they keep losing on premium live events. They're not when you make them constantly lose. They should have won this match. Again, I think it would have told a much better story. Again, this is just kind of, I don't think they really furthered anything with this, unfortunately. Like I said, it just makes Damage Control look like they're spinning their wheels. After that, we had Dominic and Ray. Bad Bunny was joining the Spanish announce team as this happened. Dominic was told he was getting a special entrance. Unfortunately, he did not get to enter in a lowrider like everyone thought he would. Instead, he got a prison escort, and as he got out of the car, he revealed that he was in fact wearing a Rey Mysterio mask when that happened. The crowd was just not feeling that at all. They were really angry when that happened. So again, good job working that. Good job working this as a heel. Early on, Dominic got some cheap shots, and he then kind of went outside, threw a drink into his sister Aaliyah's face that angered Ray, allowed him to kind of start to get back on top. But then Ray slipped up a little bit, got directed. Dominic threw him into the ring post. He dropped Ray's throat on the floor. He then got into a fight again with his mother. That allowed Ray again to get the upper hand. As this happened, Damian Priest and Finn Balor came down to ringside. Just as Dominic hit a... it's not the KOD. It's the power. It's like the reverse power bomb that was Bianca Belair's original finisher, where she kind of picks him up for the power bomb, but then falls backwards into the turnbuckle for Dominic doing this. At this point, the LWO came to aid Ray. That's Legado del Fantasma. They restarted the LWO last night. Legado del Fantasma did. Again, the phone went off. Anyway, Dominic tried to take the turnbuckle pad off, and as the ref was dealing with that, he then pulled out a chain that Damian Priest had slipped him. However, Bad Bunny got in the ring and pulled the chain out of Dominic's hands, enabled Ray to hit the 619 and the frog splash for the 3-count victory. Again, wrong guy won here. I think if you're going to push Dominic as a heel, he has to win. Like, Ray can get his victory back later. This needed to be Dominic's WrestleMania moment to help elevate him. Instead, you made him look like a tool, and not in a good way. Again, I think it's the wrong maneuver here. Okay, our next match is the SmackDown Women's Championship match, Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley. So yeah, a very unique factoid. This is only time we're in WrestleMania history where both competitors, the referee, and the ring announcer were all women. It's weird because Michael Cole said there were all women in this match. Everyone involved in this match were women. I would point out that Michael Cole and Corey Graves are not women. At least I'm fairly certain they aren't. Neither were the Spanish announce team, which were also at ringside. So, yeah, I think he maybe could have clarified that a little bit better. Right off the bat, Flair got some clotheslines and got Ripley out of the ring. Flair hit a crossbody, which Ripley came back in a flapjack into the turnbuckle. Ripley threw Flair into the turnbuckle again. Flair, I think, was supposed to be selling her head, but it looked like she was selling her knee a little bit more. Ripley then threw Flair. Oh, I did that already. Flair came back, bounced Ripley off the turnbuckle, followed that up with a big clothesline. Flair countered Riptide into a DDT. There was a double big boot. Flair went up for the moonsault. Ripley caught her and went for a German superplex, basically. And Flair had to basically roll out of it and take the brunt of the landing to her face. Charlotte Flair took some nasty bumps in this match. Later, there was another German suplex where, again, Flair tried to roll out of it and just barely missed spiking her head off the mat when that happened. Flair came back again, hit a natural selection, hit a chop block. Looked like she was about to go for the figure 8, but Ripley fought out of that. She got the prison lock on, but Flair fought out of it again. Flair went for the figure 8. Ripley kicked back into the corner. They started fighting again. Flair tried to do something around the turnbuckle, but Ripley tripped her up and Flair bounced her head off the top of the ring post and then enabled Ripley to hit the avalanche Riptide for the 3-count and the victory. Rhea Ripley finally gets her victory back. I know I left parts of this match out, but there's just no way without just describing the whole match, which would take forever. But yeah, this was far and away one of the best matches of the night. If it wasn't the main event, it really felt like that. But again, this was a great match. Both women performed above and beyond. Again, we finally got the correction for the Ripley mistake we had a few years ago. This does start a new era. Charlotte was fairly gracious in defeat. Kind of said, "Yeah, you got me. I admit it. I acknowledge you beat me." So there's a little bit of that. It is kind of weird. I know they're pushing Charlotte as a babyface, but the crowd is still very mixed on her. Like, I think they respect her ability, but they're never going to get fully behind her as a babyface. But still, again, great match, really enjoyable. And that leads us to our little bonus event, I guess, because the hosts for the evening, Miz and Snoop Dogg, came out. They talked about how, there's the attendance figure, and he said, about the only thing, and Snoop was like, boy, you should have had a match on this show, Miz. That would have made it even bigger. And Miz was like, well, I put out this open challenge on Twitter, but no one responded. And just as that happens, Pat McAfee's music hits. He says, he's like, I didn't see your message on Twitter, but hey, if you want a match, I'm here, I'm ready. And Miz is like, well, he tries to dodge out of it, he tries to powder. George Kittle gets involved, keeps Miz from leaving, leading to a match which Pat McAfee won. That's all I'm really going to say. I showed you the picture. That's about the best you're going to get, okay? It wasn't bad. It's just, again, like, wow, it was already 10 o'clock when you're doing this, 10 o'clock Central Time. You didn't really need to do that. Maybe do that at the beginning of the next show. Again, we had a 2-hour kickoff show with no matches on it. Again. So, yeah. But that leads us into our final match of the evening, the Undisputed Tag Team Championship match. The Usos against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. No KO Mania shirts this year. Instead, we had WrestleZania shirts. So, that was actually a pretty good one. Right off the bat, Jimmy demanded that Jay face Zayn to open things off. And early on, Zayn hit some moves, but then Jimmy tripped him up. That enabled the Usos to get a big advantage and just isolate him and pound on Sami over and over and over again. Owens eventually got a tag in. He had a big senton to the outside of the ring. Jay then hit Owens with, let's see. What did I write there? Back suplex into a neck breaker. Sorry, sometimes the pen is bleeding through on this paper. Sami Zayn then came back and hit Jay with the El Generico ring apron brainbuster. They acknowledged that was El Generico's move. And then Jay broke up a blue thunderbomb on Jimmy with a super kick. The Usos then hit several stereo super kicks on Zayn, but he kept kicking out. They went for the 1D, but Owens broke that up. The Usos turned their attention to him, power bombed him on through one of the announce tables. Jay then came in, he hit Zayn with an Aluva kick. Zayn came back with one last bit of a strength and hit an exploder on Jay. Owens managed to get back in, he hit the stunner on Jay. The Usos hit the 1D, but Zayn kicked out. Zayn broke up a 1D on Owens and Owens got Jay with a super 1D in this case, that he was mounted up in the corner. Owens hit a fisherman driver off the second rope, only got a 2 count again. Eventually, Zayn got back into the ring. He hit three Helluva kicks on Jay. Jimmy tried to break it up, but Owens hit him with the stunner that enabled Sami to cover Jay for the 3 count of the victory. So yes, we finally have new tag team champions. The first cracks in the bloodline have appeared. Again, just an amazing match. No way I could do it justice again without spending, almost the 45 minutes the match was on. So yeah. Again, just an amazing match. Great job telling a story. Definitely sends everyone home happy after night 1. Very enjoyable overall. Really good. It's like I said, for the most part, I really liked night 1. Again, I didn't like the 6-woman tag match and the Ray Dominic match. I just think, again, we need to build these heels up a little bit more. We can't just always rely on the bloodline as being the chief heels in this. So, yeah, it just kind of feels a little lackluster in that aspect. But, again, overall, this was still incredibly enjoyable, and I'm looking forward to night 2. So, yeah, I don't know if I'll necessarily be here for night 2. I have house sitting this week, and I'll talk to you a bit more into what those problems could be. But for now, yeah, I'll see you in night 2.
It's Coco's Smashdown! With Bulk Boulder versus Fred and Barney, all with a big chocolatey taste of post Cocoa Pebbles cereal, part of a good breakfast. Bulk wins, but not for long. Wow! Nothing beats smacking down the big chocolatey taste of all those little Pebbles pieces.
Chocolatey.
Speaking of little pieces.
Billy, Dad doesn't allow action figures on the table.
But you said
Now,
I
Billy,
could.
Hey, hon, that's no action figure. That's WWE superstar Randy Orton. Where'd you get him?
Kmart. Isn't he so cute?
Bring home all the action of the ring with WWE toys, DVDs, t-shirts, bedding, and more. And now get $15 off your next purchase of WWE merchandise when you buy $40 of WWE gear.
Do you have a kung fu grip?
They're smart, and there's Kmart Smart.
Well, here we are, night 2 of WrestleMania 39, and I guess we should probably just get right to it. The first match was Brock Lesnar and Omos. Not really much to say here. Omos actually did get some very good licks early on. He got Lesnar in a quick body slam a couple of times. He got Lesnar in a big bear hug. Lesnar was clearly like blown up and struggling. He couldn't get him up for the F5 the first time he attempted it. Eventually, Lesnar did get the German suplexes on, and he went for another F5. Again, got out of it. Omos chokeslammed him, went for the choke bomb, but Lesnar just got out of it and managed to hit the F5 once for the 3 count of the victory. Yeah, a good high-impact match, but not really much else to say. After that, we had the 4-way women's tag match, Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler versus Shotzi and Natalya versus Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan and Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. Man, yeah. Again, not really much to say. This one had a little bit more action and a lot of high spots. Unfortunately, Shotzi and Natalya did not come out in a tank, so we're not starting that off very well. A very mixed reaction for Rousey from the crowd. Morgan did hit Deville with an early backstabber. Deville came back with a big pump kick. The girls all proceeded, 3 of them teamed up for a triple powerbomb on Shayna Baszler. Morgan broke up a sharpshooter with a missile dropkick. Eventually, both Baszler and Rousey kind of blind tagged into the match. Rousey put Shotzi in the armbar to win. Again, nothing too spectacular there. Good, nice, some selection of high spots in there, some good moments, but again, not too much. Like, it's not, like I said, like the previous tag team match last night, neither of these were for #1 contenderships. It was just, yeah, someone down the line, you might be in line for a tag title opportunity. And then after that, Bobby Lashley came out to celebrate the Andre the Giant Battle Royal that he won. Yeah, unfortunately, like I said, it wasn't bad, but we're starting out to a very blah thing. Like, we didn't, there were rumors that we were supposed to be getting a surprise Bobby Lashley match, and we didn't even get that, so. Now, on the bright side, things are going to start to pick up here as we have the triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship, Walter versus Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre. Titus O'Neil is out once again to be on the commentary team because, I guess he competed for the Intercontinental Championship at some point. Let's see, the ref during the intros had to stand in between McIntyre and Sheamus to keep them from fighting right away. It told Sheamus McIntyre to just fight, and that just resulted in McIntyre kicking Walter out of the ring. Walter threw McIntyre into the ring post. McIntyre broke up a Boston Crab that was on Sheamus. Sheamus and McIntyre did the 10 beats, the Bowerman or whatever, on Walter. Walter broke up a Celtic Cross with a lariat. McIntyre hit the Future Shock on Walter, but then went for the Claymore of Walter, the Claymore into a powerbomb. McIntyre broke up a pin after a brogue kick. Sheamus and McIntyre hit their finishes on each other. At that point, Walter got into the ring. He hit a big splash off the top rope onto Sheamus and McIntyre. He then powerbombed Sheamus on McIntyre and powerbombed McIntyre for the 3 count of victory. Overall, this was a good match. This really did pick the show up a lot. This was really fun. This did the high-impact stuff way better than Lesnar and Omos did. It was a good brawling thing. There were times I thought, wow, maybe they would actually take the championship off of Walter, but it didn't happen. But again, still, if you thought about it for a second there that it was going to happen, so you at least had that going for you, and everything there was just, like I said, it wasn't quite perfect, but overall, it was the match of the night for me. Okay, our next match is the Raw Women's Championship match, Bianca Belair versus Asuka. Right off the bat, Belair had a big drop kick right after the bell. Asuka came back with a spinning back fist. Belair rolled out of a German suplex and hit a slapjack into the turnbuckle. Asuka attempted a triangle choke on a couple occasions. Belair hit a gut wrench powerbomb on the outside of the ring. Belair fought out of a knee bar and got into a belly-to-back suplex. Asuka dropkicked Belair into the ring post. Belair running blockbuster. Asuka managed to fight back, got her into an armbar position. At one point, Belair got Asuka in position for a KOD, but Asuka pulled on the ropes just enough for Belair to drop her, went for the blue mist, missed the blue mist, and Belair, but it was enough to still get Belair into an armbar, which Belair managed to power out of and hit the KOD for the 3 count of the victory. Overall, entertaining match, but the wrong person won again. Like, we're starting to get a theme in this one where we're supposed to be starting new chapters with this, and we've already failed to pull the trigger. I mean, we pulled the trigger on Rhea, we fixed that one, but Asuka is still denied a WrestleMania moment, and we were supposed to be building towards that, and now we're not. And I understand Belair moves merchandise. You know what? Belair can win the championship another couple months down the line again, get a 3rd reign. That's fine, but it's just, really kind of disappointing. Like I said, the match itself was fine. It wasn't bad. It just, again, bad finish. Then we got Miz and Snoop Dogg in the ring again. Snoop semi-apologized for last night. Miz says he doesn't want to go through it again. But Miz said, well, I kind of did it again. And Shane McMahon's music hits. Because apparently we haven't learned our lesson from last year's Royal Rumble. Shane McMahon's back in the company. Whoop-dee. He should have been gone for like another 5 years. And even then, when he starts fighting Miz, he ducks to do a move, and his ankle catches in the mat, and he breaks it. At least from what I saw, his ankle just completely buckled on him. So they had to improvise where Snoop knocked Miz out and hit the people's elbow to win the match for himself. Anyway, our next match after that is the Hell in a Cell match between Edge and Finn Balor. Russell Crowe did the intro to the match. We're on the bright spot, the Hell in a Cell isn't red anymore. Right after the bat, both men were going for weapons. Balor got a kendo stick, Edge got a chair. Edge set a table up against the cell wall at one point. He had an implant DDT onto Balor, but Balor came back with a sling blade and drop-kicked Edge through that table. Edge hit a kill switch and pulled out a ladder, threw it into Balor's face, which cut him to the point that they had to stop the match to get him patched up. Edge went for a spear. Balor countered that into a sling blade. Not only Balor dodged the spear, and Edge hit the ladder. Edge hit an avalanche impaler off the ladder. Balor climbed the cell and hit a coup de grace through a table. Unfortunately, Edge just rolled out of the way at the last minute. Edge then hit the concerto for the 3 count of victory. Again, good match. Wrong guy won. I thought we were supposed to be pushing Balor. I thought Judgment Day was a force, but when most of them lose on the show, they're not considered a force. They look like idiots. So again, just bad things are happening. Bad things are happening. Bad things are happening. Guys, we're supposed to be starting new chapters with WrestleMania, and instead we're just making people look stupid. Well, here it is, the main event, the undisputed Universal Championship match between Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. Nice little thing that happened early on. Cody, during his entrance, went and visited his family. He then gave his weight belt to John Huber's son, Brody. Brody Lee, Negative Uno, the Dark Order. Like I said, that was a really nice bit. Reigns grabbed the mic during his intro and demanded the crowd acknowledge him. Early on, some good licks early on there. Reigns hit a nice back elbow on Rhodes. He then blocked a disaster kick and hit a powerbomb. Solo Sikoa interfered, tripping Rhodes up and poking him with the chairs while the ref wasn't looking. That enabled Reigns to hit a drive-by and then a lariat. Rhodes then back body drop Reigns to the announce table. Sikoa attacked this time, but he got caught and was ejected. Rhodes hit a super kick at a crossroads, only got a 2 count. Rhodes countered a Superman punch into a figure 4. Reigns countered a disaster kick again with a Superman punch. Reigns hit a spear, then put Rhodes in the guillotine. Rhodes managed to fight out of it. It's at this point the Usos hit the ring after Rhodes accidentally struck the ref. Rhodes hit the 1D on Cody, but he's still not out of it. Zayn and Owens hit the ring, deal with the Usos, then hit the stunner and Helluva Kick on Reigns. It's not enough to put Roman down. Rhodes hits a bionic elbow, starts going for crossroads. Heyman interferes, and that allows Solo Sikoa to sneak back to the ring and hit the Samoan spike on Rhodes. Roman spears Rhodes for the 3 count and the victory. Well, Cody, WrestleMania is irrelevant. You know, I thought this was I thought we were supposed to be anointing Cody as the heir apparent, but I guess not. Now there's no viable challenges for Reigns. He's supposed to be taking a big break, which means there's not going to be any championship thing. And I don't give a fuck about the Saudi show. No one cares about the Saudi show. Not even the Saudis care about the Saudi show. I don't care about 1,000 days. Cody said he wanted to win the championship at WrestleMania. He's supposed to win it at WrestleMania. WrestleMania is the most important show of the year. That is where the title change is supposed to take place. You have made WrestleMania completely irrelevant. It is pointless. You know, SummerSlam is arguably a more important show. Royal Rumble is a more important show than WrestleMania. WrestleMania doesn't mean jack anymore. It's down there with Survivor Series now in terms of the big 4. Hell, Money in the Bank is probably more important than WrestleMania right now. I don't care about Backlash. I don't care about the Saudi show. I'm done. I've had it with that. You know, build WrestleMania up to be the most important show, which means when Cody says, I want to win the championship at WrestleMania, he wins it at WrestleMania. Okay? So, yeah, I'm not happy right now, if you haven't figured that out. Like I said, matches were not bad. I'm not happy about the ending. I think it's not good. I don't like it. And that's why I really have to downgrade this. This was going to get a solid B going through this. I was really having fun, and you know, it was maybe inching up towards an A, and then the last 3 matches just killed it. I have to give WrestleMania 39 a C. It's that much of a disappointment for me. You know, whatever fun I was having, I completely lost. I'm dead right now. Maybe I'm being a little melodramatic, but yeah, I'm not in a good mood. So sorry. I hope you enjoyed these commercials.
Tag team extravaganza! Let the battle royale begin! Looks like Hawk is about to drop in on the fabulous one. Oh, the Baron gets the animal. The animal has other plans. Will you look at this? Rick Martel is throwing Steve Kern right out of the ring. Oh my! And the Hawk has Stan Lane all tied up, and he's live!
The Battle Royale playset comes complete with 6 figures, referee, and official wrestling ring from Remco.
Get in on all the sounds and action of the WCW with the electronic Nitro Wrestling Arena. You activate the sound. Hear the call of the Wolfpack as Kevin Nash struts up the runway. Launch Macho Man from the top turnbuckle. Hear the snap of the ropes as you fire Goldberg across the ring.
It sounds just like I'm at a match.
Lower in Sting from the rafters. Hear the count as you pin your opponent. It's the best WCW wrestling ring ever. The new WCW Electronic Nitro Wrestling Arena. Figures sold separately. Batteries not included.
Who's next?
Okay, so the next video should hopefully be the review of the Super Mario Brothers movie that's coming out. Don't know when that's going to be necessarily because we're slated for another snowstorm. Another thing that's put me in a sour mood. I don't know why winter won't just end. After that, it's going to probably be the random trade review on Star Wars Tag and Bink We're Here. That's all the Tag and Bink stuff, just in case you're wondering if you're familiar with that a branch of Star Wars. You know, we'll get to the last 3 episodes of Mandalorian once they've aired. Like I said, snowstorm this week, so hopefully I'll be able to at least get the Super Mario Brothers review up on Friday, but like I said, I can't guarantee that for sure. Like I said, I'll try to get it up as soon as I possibly can. you know, trying to do this thing with the WWE 2K23. Still in the middle of... I finally got into the creator wrestler part of it, so trying to square things away as much as I possibly can. See you all next time. Hey guys, remember you can help me maintain and possibly even expand my professional wrestling covers by supporting me on Patreon at patreon.com/sleepytimeforcat productions. Also, remember to like the video, comment, share, subscribe, and ring that notification bell.